Hello and namaste. Welcome to Temples, Books and Science. I want to begin by thanking all of you for your great response for this series of videos on quantum physics and Vedanta. I'm truly inspired by your passionate, insightful, and knowledgeable responses. Thank you once again. Today, I want to talk to you about how science uncovered consciousness. In the previous video, we saw the central role consciousness plays in shaping reality. Only an observer can bring a particle into existence. So, an observer is required to bring the universe into existence. This is such a mind blowing discovery. It takes a while for it to sink in. In this post, we will see how scientists are trying to make sense of this incredible finding. Even before the emergence of quantum physics, it became evident that conscious beings have an important place in the universe. Universe itself appears to be fine-tuned for life. I have spoken extensively about this in my previous videos. If you are interested, you can watch them. I have given a link in the description below. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Let us take the example of a rocket. Its purpose is to carry a satellite into space and place it in a specific orbit around the Earth. For this to happen, it must take off at a very specific speed, accelerate at an exact rate, and get to the correct orbit. So many components must work together seamlessly with a great deal of accuracy. There is no room for errors. Even tiny variations in any of the parameters will cause the rocket to fail. Now tell me, is it possible for such a rocket to assemble itself through a series of random events and place the satellite into the orbit by chance? To claim that our universe is the way it is because of a random set of events would be like claiming a rocket assembled itself through a random set of events. Our universe does not resemble a thing that randomly arose by chance. It resembles a very sophisticated and a perfectly tuned machine like a rocket. Even if a tiny little component varies from its precise value, a rocket will fail in its mission. Our universe resembles this arrangement. Any one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe varies even by a tiny fraction. The universe will not be conducive for life. Everything about our universe suggests that it was designed for the specific purpose of creating life. This is what classical physics discovered about the universe even before the emergence of quantum physics. Here's what some prominent scientists said about this peculiar feature of the universe. The laws of universe are fine-tuned for our existence. None other than Stephen Hawking said this. Paul Davies, another physicist, went further. He said, the emergence of conscious beings are fundamental to the workings of the universe. Conscious beings are built into the very nature of the universe. It became apparent that without factoring consciousness, the laws of nature would be incomplete. This led to the emergence of a theory in cosmology called Anthropic principle. According to this theory, the universe was designed with the goal and purpose of generating and sustaining life. Universe is not just a random occurrence. It has a specific purpose, and that purpose is to give raise to life. The universe is the way it is because we are meant to be here. Right from the moment the universe started to the billions of years it has existed was all for the sake of life to emerge. Just pause and think about it for a second. These statements are not coming from a religious text or philosophers. It is coming from physicists at the cutting edge of physics. Just when scientists thought that it cannot get any crazier than this, quantum physics happened. It pushed consciousness to the very center of reality. It became clear that an observer is required to bring the universe into existence. This led to another radical version of the anthropic principle called the participatory-anthropic principle. It was proposed by a brilliant physicist called John Wheeler. According to Wheeler, an observer is required to bring the universe into existence. Reality itself is created by observers. Since no phenomenon is real until it is observed, reality itself arises because of observers. Although it looks like a radical theory, it only elaborates on what was already discovered by several experiments of quantum physics. You may ask, but the universe has been in existence for billions of years, much before conscious observers appeared. How did the universe exist before we arrived? Do you remember the time traveling ghost from the previous video? I have given the link to that video in the description. It showed that when you make an observation now in the present, it impacts the past behavior of the particle. The experiment was in fact proposed by John Wheeler. It is called the delayed choice experiment. It implies that our current actions impact the past. The observations you make in the present has impact on the past. Let me repeat this. The fact that observers are here in the present not only changes the future but also the past. What does this even mean? In what form and shape did the universe exist before the arrival of conscious observers? Physics has still not arrived at a conclusive answer to this question. However, there are some theories proposed by scientists which have not yet received mainstream acceptance. One such theory, called biocentrism, proposed by the biologist Robert Lanza, is very interesting. Particles don't exist until they are observed. By extension, universe itself does not exist until it is observed. Just like a particle appears when it is observed, the universe too appears as soon as it is observed. Physics has already proven that universe is not real. It is only observers who make it appear real. By extension, until an observer appears, universe is not real. It does not exist at all. Even the past of the universe, like the Big Bang, appearance of the stars and galaxies, take shape only when an observer sees it. It is very much like being in a virtual reality world. Everything exists only for us to see, and everything exists only when we see it. As we move from one place to another in the virtual world, those places appear. To us, it looks as though they are always there. How is it possible that my observation creates all this? This world must have taken millions of years to build, isn't it? But it only sprung into existence when we arrive at the scene, so to speak. Where was this world before we saw it? It exists only as a software, a set of instructions written in a language that does not in any shape or form resemble the world that we see. When you look at the code written in a programming language, it would look nothing like the virtual reality world with its vivid colors and concrete shapes, isn't it? Can you see how this is exactly how a particle behaves? It looks nothing like a particle until we observe it. Before we observe it, it can only be defined in the language of mathematics, very much like a code written in a programming language. Just like this code projects a vivid virtual world when we enter it, similarly, the universe gets projected when we observe it. This explains why the whole universe appears to be fine-tuned for life, because it is life which creates the universe. Since reality itself is created by conscious observers, everything in the universe seems to be perfectly tuned for our existence. Since we created it, it is perfect for us. See how closely this echoes the words of the great advaitic philosopher Adi Shankaracharya. Brahmaivahamidam jagatya sakalam chinmatra vistaritam sarvam chaidada vidyaya trigunaya shesham maya kalpitam. This entire universe is only an expansion of pure consciousness. It has been conjured up by the self. Self as an observer. The findings of quantum physics align so perfectly with Vedanta that it cannot be a mere coincidence. Let us look at some of the similarities. Quantum physics has proven that the universe is not real. Vedanta says that the universe is not real. It is just an illusion, Maya. Quantum physics says it is the observer that brings the universe into existence. Vedanta says that the consciousness that brings the universe into existence is just an observer. Classical physics says that universe is designed with a specific purpose of creating life. Vedanta says universe is created with a specific purpose of creating and sustaining life. That is its only purpose. Quantum physics says time and space are just illusions. Vedanta says time and space are just illusions. I have been passionate about these two subjects all my life. Quantum physics has arrived at these conclusions through rigorous scientific method. We don't know for sure how Vedanta arrived at these conclusions. Some say it is through deep meditation, introspection, thought experiments, and revelations. Whatever the method, there is no denying that Vedanta was on to some fundamental truth about the nature of the universe. I strongly believe that both these subjects can benefit from each other's knowledge. Vedanta has the capacity to answer many unanswered questions in quantum physics, and quantum physics can transform Vedanta from being perceived as only a philosophical text to a scientific treatise. Modern science lost its soul when it divorced itself from consciousness, and Vedanta was undermined when it became a subject of faith rather than knowledge and reasoning. Somewhere on the way, we forgot that Veda means knowledge and Vedanta means the zenith of knowledge. I strongly believe that their union would bring together our internal and external worlds and lead humanity to a great future. That's it from me. Thank you once again for watching. Please like this video and share it with your friends. If you have not already subscribed, please do. If you wish to be notified whenever I post a new video, please press the bell icon. Until next time, Namaste.